Yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and welcome to my quick and simple beginner guide to berry farming for profit within PokeMMO. This is meant to be a pretty succinct video, so make sure that if you do find it helpful, go ahead and like it and leave a positive comment maybe, and subscribe. It's going to help the algorithm and allow me to make these succinct, quick videos. Now, with simple berry farming for profit on a main account, there is one berry we're going to focus on, and that's going to be Leppa berry farming. And here's a full list of everything you will need to get started on berry farming for profit within PokeMMO. Number one, you will need Unova Complete. You only need Unova Complete as a region, which makes this an incredible alt account money-making method. You will also need the Spray Duck item, which I believe you can get from this old man right here if you do not have it. And you will also want to keybind it. That is very important because it makes it way faster to water. So I'm going to go ahead and keybind it to my F key for the sake of this video. You're also going to need a Fly and Surf Pokemon or ocarinas. You're also going to need Abundant Shrine discovered and flyable. Once you discover it as a location, you're able to fly to it very easily. And in case you don't have Abundant Shrine discovered, don't worry, I'll show you very quickly. You want to start over in Black City. If you don't have that discovered, you want to make your way from Undella Town and loop all the way around and head over to this location. We're going to start in Black City. We're going to head northeast. We're going to need Waterfall and Surf for this as well. We're going to go through this dark grass. We're going to hop on the water with our surf. We're going to waterfall up like so. We're going to head west once we're up here. Not following the water anymore. Ditch the water. Come over here. Surf on this water. Take the waterfall down. Then go south and west a little bit over to this little like cave type entrance. And once you're in here, this is Abundant Shrine where all the other berry patches are located. You can head inside of this house, and I believe this marks your location. You might just need to get here at all, though, and this should make it a discoverable location. You can double check by heading over here and trying to fly to the green dot on the map. And boom, now we have Abundant Shrine unlocked. There's only two main spots that we do berry farm at. It's over at Mistralton City to the southwest of the PC. You want to head over here past all the airplanes, head south. This is our main berry patch, and we also go do farm over at Abundant Shrine because there's so many spots over there as well. But this one looks a lot prettier. The final thing you're going to need is a very consistent schedule. This is why I don't recommend berry farming to every PokeMMO player, because you really need to be consistent. If you make one mistake a week, you're going to let your berries die and you're going to lose almost all of your profits. Berry farming is some of the most easy Pokeyen you'll make in PokeMMO, and it's super consistent if you yourself are a consistent person. Now, to plant a Leppa berry, you're going to need one very spicy seed, one very plain sweet seed, and one plain bitter. You're going to need 156 of each of these seeds to plant all of the plots within PokeMMO. That is going to cost you about 525,000 Pokeyen in upfront cost to plant all of these Leppas. That is why if you let them die and you lose all of them, you lose that 525,000 Pokeyen. But if you are consistent, berry farming will be the easiest 115,000 or so Pokeyen that you make every day, and it takes very little time overall. And the process for farming berries is so easy a monkey could do it. It's literally just plant seeds, go ahead and use your keybound spray duck to water, and then move on to the next one, rinse and repeat. If you have the right berries selected, it will continue to go ahead and reuse like this, and you can be as fast as this. It's nice to have custom strings installed for this as well. Custom strings do actually help a little bit. And making sure your tech speed is on instant as well is pretty important. You can be pretty fast and really mechanically challenge yourself with planting berries. But what you want to do is you want to plant and water all of your berries at the same time as you plant them, and then you have to re-water them 8 to 10 hours later, somewhere in that time frame. And then you want to harvest 10 to 12 hours later. From my experience, the best time that I find to do berry farming is when around noon, I plant my berries. Around 12 p.m. ET, I plant my berries, and then I go ahead and I water them at around 8 to 10 p.m. And then I wake up the next day at around 10 a.m. and I harvest my berries. And even around then, if I plant my berries at around 10 a.m., I can still water a little bit earlier and then still just harvest the next day when I wake up, and it should be fine. Sometimes you might need to be a little bit more aware of your timing. If you're waking up too early or too late, you need to make sure you don't let your berries dwindle a little bit. But if they dwindle a little bit, it's fine. Your berries aren't going to die immediately. They will just lose yield hour by hour. And that will eat into your profits. But you have a few hours as a window. Leppa berries are what's known as a 20-hour berry, and it actually tells you it has a medium growth time of 20 total hours to grow, and it wilts very slowly at 8 hours. which means that after 20 hours pass and your Leppa berries are fully grown, they will begin to slowly start to wilt, and after 8 hours, you will start to lose yield. And if you wait even longer, you'll eventually have a complete death of your berries. So it's not incredibly unfair. You do have a little bit of a window, but in my opinion, from my experience, it is so easy to just make one mistake and have too long of a night out one time, and then you lose your berries. So just be very, very careful when you are berry farming. And it's also smart to make the cognitive decision of, you know what, tomorrow is going to be a special day. I'm celebrating, or this is happening. Maybe I just don't plant my berries today. But you can grow one big batch of Leppas like this every single day, and you'll usually end up with about 900 Leppas from my experience. Which is where I get those numbers from. If it costs you 525,000 for the seeds, and you end up selling the Leppas for about 71,000 Pokeyen a stack, and that's really important. You do want to sell them as a stack and not on the GTL. If you sell your Leppa berries on the GTL, you usually lose profit. And how much you're charging per stack just depends on the economy. For example, someone is selling their Leppas for 72k per stack, and that's totally okay. It's whatever you can sell them for. Make sure to always double check the GTL and adjust your stack price accordingly. You just want your stack price to be a little bit cheaper than the GTL. So if the GTL is selling for, I think there's only a few here. Yeah, you see this number as well. They're selling for 725. Well, realistically, they're selling for 750 or even 770 because this is not that many Leppas. This is only about 2 hours or so of Leppa shiny hunting. So I would say the market price here is about 770 per Leppa berry. So if you were to try to sell your Leppas for 75k a stack or 750 Pokeyen per Leppa, one stack is just 99 Leppas. Or 100 Leppas, depending on who you talk to. It's funny because the term stack of Leppa comes from an old time when items used to only stack up to 99. Now items stack up to 9,999. So a real stack of Leppas would actually be like 10,000 Leppas, but that's not what someone means when they say a stack. It's kind of an old term from olden times PokeMMO. Olden times being about a year or two ago. But you will see all types of different prices, and you just want to find the right price for you. This guy's selling them for 69k a stack. I might buy some at that price. So just go ahead and check trade chat and check also my Discord. My Discord has a trading lounge where plenty of people trade and sell Leppa berries all the time. When you sell off of the GTL, you dodge the listing fee, which allows you to charge a lower price as the seller and also allows the buyer to get a better deal while you also make more money as the seller. But that's basically everything. The last thing that I want to do is go ahead and actually set a timer and see how long it takes to plant and water all my berries, and then kind of predict how long it would take to water and give you guys an idea, a guesstimation. Obviously, your speed's going to be different than mine, but an idea of how long you can actually spend every day in terms of minutes watering your berries and getting a somewhat profit per hour guesstimation. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, now that only took me about 4 minutes, but I was trying pretty hard, still made a lot of mistakes, still got some wild encounters, and still sometimes misclicked Z on my berries. If you do that, it's a much slower water than the spray duck, which is why we keep buying the spray duck. Otherwise, you have to do this for every single berry. That would be a nightmare and be so much slower than the spray duck. This time also didn't include the picking of berries in the morning, so that would add some extra time. So for the sake of safety, I'm just going to say that it takes you about 6 minutes every single time you have to interact with your berries, which I think is more than generous. You can honestly be quicker than that, but we're also going to include human error and people playing at different paces. I think 6 minutes is super, super fair. So if you have to interact with your berries twice a day, that is 12 minutes of time spent every single day on your berries. Keep in mind, you make about 115,000 Pokeyen every single time you do this. So that is 115,000 Pokeyen in 12 minutes of work. If you multiply that by like 5 or so, you're able to make almost 600,000 Pokeyen effectively per hour berry farming. Obviously, you know, that's money per hour when it comes to berry farming. We're talking about over the course of like 5 or 6 days, right? Because it's going to take that long to get an hour of work in, right? It's really, what you really want to care about is the profit per day, in my opinion. I think it's a more honest view of the profit of berry farming. But it is a pretty nasty amount of Pokeyen per hour of work, which is worth mentioning. It's nice. And it's really simple and easy work and can be done on multiple accounts. I mean, if you have 6 accounts and want to berry farm on all of them and are willing to do that, yeah, you can make 575,000 Pokeyen per hour in one day with those alt accounts. That's really, really, really good. However, the risk also goes up. If you have 6 alt accounts or 5 alt accounts running berries and you make a mistake and you lose, a batch and you lose a batch on all of your 5 or 6 accounts, well, now you're out so much Pokeyen and you have to be consistent to do this money-making method. So that's my thoughts on berry farming. That is why I don't recommend it to everyone, but it is a fantastic money-making method that is absolutely worth mentioning. It's probably top 5 or like 6th best money-making method in the game. It's really up there. If you're good at it, it's arguably the best, one of the best, like top 3 money-making methods in the game if you are a consistent berry farmer. Especially if you're using alt accounts for this. And this is a very fair way to use alt accounts because you don't even need multiple devices to be able to berry farm on multiple accounts, and you only need Unova done. So it's a very fair thing for every type of player who wants to put in more effort and more work for more reward. And trust me, shiny hunters will eat through the lava berries. They're going to be using a lot of them in this upcoming shiny war. Or by the time this video comes out, maybe during the shiny war? But that's it for me. I hope this video was helpful. Once again, like it if it was, dislike if I smell, subscribe for daily Pokemon videos, follow me on Twitch, usually for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET, although I will be streaming whenever I possibly can during Shiny War. If you want to go above and beyond and support the content, if this guide has helped you make enough Pokeyen, and you have some Pokeyen IRL to spare, and my content has helped you enough, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo donations, the most selfless ways to support my content. It really does keep the lights on and allow me to make guides like this one. But thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see y'all later. For now, peace Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I want to take this moment to say thank you to everybody who goes above and beyond, and thank you as the viewer to making it to the end of the video. I hope it was helpful today, and maybe even a little bit of fun. Thanks again for watching, and have a good one.